Loading. I think we're good. Welcome to Play Through the Whistle. It is September the 5th, 2022. And as you can see us.
The maiden voyage on YouTube.
What's going on?
Look at those ugly fuckers.
That way. This guy over here.
Where?
Right there.
Bear with us.
There.
It's gonna take a minute.
There. I can't even point. All right. Anyways, Gary's over there. I'm over here.
This is Gary, the old guy. College football, Westman. College football's back in full swing. You know. Let's just go right into our beloved hometown Spartans against Western Michigan on Friday night. Wasn't pretty, but we got the W. A lot of good, a little bit of good, a lot of bad, a lot of ugly too. We'll start with the good. Jacoby Windman was a beast. 4 sacks, 7 total sacks as a team as a whole. The Brandon Jordan hire paying off early and often. We had 11 total tackles for loss. Defense played a ton of guys. I thought the defense was much improved from last year. I mean, it's again Western, but we were stingy against the run as always. Only gave up like 146 yards rushing, I think, and 61 of those were the scramble by the quarterback, and another 45 by the running back. I thought linebacker play was really good. Ben Van Sumeren. All the talk in camp was that he was having a great camp, and he looks really good. He looked really fast, sideline to sideline, got to the ball, made 11 tackles. Angelo Gross, safety all over the field, also had 11 tackles. I thought defensive backs were much improved. I know we gave up a lot of catches, but that's kind of what Western does. They throw the ball a lot. I thought they kept everything in front of them, made the tackles when the guys made the catches that they were covering. And another bright spot that I liked was we only had 2 penalties for 30 yards, and they were both kind of aggression penalties, like late hits out of bounds, those kind of type of things. So in the fourth quarter, 91-yard touchdown drive I thought was key when they really needed it. So
yeah, that's really play. It was.
Yeah.
I the one thing that worries me offensively is Thorne doesn't have that 7 to 15-yard pass. Like it's like it's either all or nothing. It's short quick screen or
let me get to my bad. Let me get to my bad. I'm still focusing on the good right now.
Oh, the good.
We'll get to it. Berger, I thought, looked good. I thought the Broussard Berger combination was serviceable. I mean, that's what they need to be. About 150, 200 yards. If they can be that, I think the passing game rust gets shaken off. I thought Keon Coleman looked good in his sophomore debut. He's going to be a matchup problem for people at 6'4" and with some wheels to go. And Sexy Specs with the boomstick. You know, he averaged 50.5 yards a punt and 4 punts. It's really an advantage when you got a punter that can flip the field like that. And that's about all the good I could muster.
No, the bad.
As Mel Tucker said today in his press conference, the overall performance was just unacceptable. I thought they lacked emotion for most of the game. The offensive.
It's like you got. I think it's going to be different this week against Akron. Western's up for that game. You got a lot of guys. There's Jefferson. You got these players and all these guys who like played ball together for a long time, or they were transfers, and it's that in-state thing. So it might be a MAC team, but there's still it's that in-state rivalry thing going on. So I think it'll be a lot different this week versus Akron when it comes to them being up for it. I think if the Spartans go up 14-21, I don't think Akron's going to have that same fight that Western had to want to stay in that game and try and continue to be in the game. Whereas I think Akron, they go down, it's going to be over. It's not going to be the same like it was last week. So you got to remember that there's that in play as well when it comes to the game. Otherwise, like I said, Thorne was off early, got better late when it mattered. It really put together the drive. But it's that middle ground, that passing game, and that middle there, that 7
I told you,
20-yard passes, it just doesn't seem to be there at all. It's either it's
like I texted you, we never
short.
We never throw over the middle. We never
No.
use the middle of the field. The one time we did, it was a touchdown to Mosley.
There's no intermediate passing game.
I thought the offensive game
nothing.
plan was. I thought the play calling and the offensive game plan was just flat out bad. I really did. It seemed like it was throw on first down, run on second down, and throw on third down. And Thorne being wildly inconsistent and inaccurate at times. It was. I thought he was not good, and I'm a big Peyton Thorne guy, but I don't know if it was because he was playing against his dad's team. But the interception at the end of the first half was just awful. Throw a college quarterback, hell, even high school quarterbacks know not to make those throws.
That's the Patrick Mahomes effect. That's the everybody wants to make the spectacular play when he had the easy, just run it, get the first down, and continue.
I mean, even his TD throws weren't necessarily great.
No, it wasn't a great performance by him.
Barker snagged the one with the one-handed grab. Coleman was a jump ball. Bernard, even the one to Jeremy. I have trouble with his name because talking's hard. Jeremy Bernard. It doesn't look like Jeremy. It was a bullet on that little in slant, and Bernard caught it and made a move and made a guy miss and took it to the house. But no, I just thought we were bad, and the kicking game was a struggle as well. He knuckleballed a couple extra points, as well as the field goal attempt that he had.
Freshman kicker. It's going to take time. We're going to have to deal with that, I think, for a while, till it becomes.
And we were bad on third down. Only 4 of 10 on third down conversions. I mean, I know I'm picking everything apart.
The offense wasn't the greatest.
No.
The defense did. Defensive front was great.
The front seven's good, or 6 is good. I guess it's because we play 5.
Overall, I'm not going to pick on the defense. Not after that. I think Thorne was off. I just think it wasn't. Again, It's Western playing up. I think I think that has something to do with it. The fact that in-state rivalry. I think the Western played up. I think the Spartans played down just a bit. I think Thorne was off, and his dad, all that stuff, So it's like, was he off because he just had a lot going on, or was he off just because he was like,
rusty opening game jitters? All of that I think played into it a little bit.
So I think that going forward, I expect to see.
I expect him to be a lot better.
I expect them to come out and be a lot better against Akron, because if they play the same way against Akron, then I'm going to start to worry. Then I have actual concerns. If they come out against Akron and they're not clean and crisp, and they don't, I expect it to be 28-0 at halftime, if not worse. Like I said, Akron played St. Francis. .pa, whatever the hell that is. I don't even know what that is. Yeah, they go to overtime with them. If Michigan State's not walloping Akron, then I've got some concerns. Like I said, I think I said to you during the game, I sent you a message saying this felt a lot like a D'Antonio game. Those opening games where it's like they struggled to do anything, but they end up pulling it out. But it's like a struggle. It's like, we struggle against Youngstown. It's like just go these teams that you're just like, why are we doing this over and over? It gets frustrating to a point. So I'm like, I'll give them the benefit that it's Western, like I said, playing up.
Yeah.
Thorne could have been off, his dad, all that. It's the Akron game. If they come out and they're the same and there's no improvements, then that's the concern. Because then I think we're going to Washington and oh boy.
Then we got the injuries.
Yeah, that sucks.
Darius Snow and Xavier Henderson both leaving the game with right leg injuries, did not return. Snow, we found out today, as expected, out for the year. They still haven't said what he did. Either Achilles or ACL, I'm not sure, but it's not good. Tucker said he hopes Henderson will return this year. Said he'll be ready when he's ready, the Tuck answer. And I really think Jaden Reed's still a little banged up from camp, too.
Probably. He also got dinged up in the game. He came down hard there, not one play. So, yeah, there's the injury thing is what it is. And I'm not – the Henderson thing, I think Mangum is he's quick, he's fast out there. I just think he might not be that horrible of a replacement when it comes to the Henderson thing. Snow's going to – Snow's
no, he's
really
he's
sucks.
the future.
Yeah,
he's the future at that position.
Sucks, It
Yeah.
sucks for the kid,
Well,
and it sucks for
it sucks for
us
him.
fans.
It sucks for us, but we're lucky. We're fortunate to be very deep at the linebacker position with Brule. I don't know how to say that kid's name from his brother goes to Ohio State. I'm not a Samoan. I don't pretend to be one.
Oos.
Yeah, oos. I didn't love seeing us getting dominated in time and possession as bad as we did. It was like 37-22.
Yeah, like I said, the game was. I think Western played up huge. They wanted it bad. I don't know if Michigan State went into it thinking that it was going to be easier than it was. I'm not going to overreact after that game. It's this next game. It's the Akron game. I expect to be a completely different offense. Like I want to see them crush a team. I want to see them go out and do what Michigan does to these teams. Like go out and
run the ball too.
Shit kick them. Fucking throw them down a flight of stairs. I'm tired of it. I don't want to see them struggle through it. We can't get a first down. We're 3-and-out on the first drive, and over, and we're doing it again. And the next thing you know, it's 3 minutes to halftime, and it's 17-3 Michigan State, and it's not like 56-3. Like I don't want to see that.
Well, let's go out and dominate the line of scrimmage and run the ball. That's how we put the game away on Berger's back. So, I hated seeing it for an opener like that, but through much of the third quarter, the woodshed was the she shed. There was just no energy going on there because Western was dominating.
Yeah, I don't blame them. Like you're sitting there and you go there and you're expecting. I don't know what you're expecting when you're going to the opening game, and usually it's a blowout. It should be over, but we get into this dogfight with Western, and it's playing those in-state schools. It's always going to be that way. I don't hold much. Again, I'm not going to kill the team over that game.
No.
Again, this coming weekend, they don't do what they're supposed to do, which is go out and beat a far less team in Akron. They're so much more superior than Akron that they need to just go out and dominate. And then we can judge them going into the Washington game. Because if they go out and they just don't look good, I'm worried heading out to the West Coast. Because for starters, it's never fun to go out to the West Coast. And
the Big Ten never plays well out there.
No. It could be rainy, cold. Like, you don't know what it's going to be like. It's just stupid. And I don't want to do it having bad experiences in those first two games. They need to go out and pound Akron, get that confidence, and roll out to the West Coast and play Washington. And then it's whatever it is.
You know, speaking, you talk about the Akron game. I don't know what your plans are this year as far as going to any games. I toyed with the idea when we were in Ludington last weekend about going to the game. I had the wife on board. I had MSU Akron home game tickets in the cart ready to purchase, and just couldn't pull the trigger on it, man. I'm like ultimately I just want to watch it at home.
It's so much better. I don't even want to get into that rant right now. The fact that the home experience is so much better. Why do I want to go and be around a bunch of people I can't stand? I'd just rather be at home on my couch. I have friends that go and tailgate. I have a good friend that I went to state with that hit the siren. Is big in the restaurant industry around East Lansing. I could go eat for free. Eat and drink for free at any one of his places. I just don't want to drive the 2 hours there and back and deal with the whole thing. No,
it's just
for that. If they were playing Notre Dame, that's a different story.
Yeah, that's the other thing. Well, I don't want to pay $200 a ticket.
Go see Akron.
I was gonna go see Akron, but then I'm just like, I'll just go to the campus another time. I do want to see the campus again, but see what it looks like because it's been.
Right. I don't know what else to say about us.
On to Akron.
All right,
let's
Michigan.
Go. Michigan. Okay, let's go. As expected.
They did what they always do.
Michigan had a little trouble.
Superior teams. It was biblical.
Well, Cade played a similar game. Cade McNamara played a similar game to Peyton Thorne.
He looked like he
was a little off.
Yeah, off. He was. I don't know.
Something was because of the situation. It's got to be.
I think so. I think he's gone, personally. I know, man, he's been one of those guys who's going to stick around. I think he's gone. I think he's going to dip his right after this following weekend. He's gone. He's in the portal. He's out the door. And then I hope it blows up in their face. But getting back to that game it wasn't a game. It was over. Even that, as bad as Cade started out the game, it was 23 done. All they had to do was run the ball on him, and it was over. So, what are they going to learn? That's the thing. They were like, well, with Harbaugh and his biblical decisions with his quarterbacks, what was he going to learn? You're playing against garbage and garbage. No offense, Colorado State and Hawaii, but they're going to go into the game and they're going to win both those games. It didn't matter who that you could have played quarterback for the Michigan Wolverines against Colorado State, and you're still going to win. They just hand the ball off. Like
I can flip it out to Roman Wilson and let him go 60 yards.
Yeah, so I don't know what they actually thought they were going to learn. This whole plan is, I keep saying it, biblical. It doesn't make any sense.
I think Solomon was a pretty
Just
smart guy.
Pick a guy, honestly. Shit or get off the pot. Like, that's what it is at this point, Harbaugh. It's biblical, all right. I think it's biblical as in he's Judas.
It's awful.
And he's throwing Cade. He's backstabbing Cade. Because I think Cade knows it as well. I think he knows he's done.
Didn't seem happy in that press conference.
They're going to go out and let JJ throw it 40 fucking times this week on Hawaii, and then everybody's going to say, well, that's it. It's said and done. 7 touchdowns. He went 37 for 44 against
you never saw Cade
Hawaii.
Do that.
Cade couldn't do it. Yeah, because he only threw it 15 times a game with Cade. That's what they're going to do.
I'm surprised they threw it as much as they did with Cade last week. He was 9 for 18, but I'm surprised they even threw it that much. They gave him that much of a look on it. The funny thing is, when you look at the stats of the two games between Michigan and Michigan State, this really surprised me. The stats were eerily similar. State was 4 of 10 on third down. Michigan was 3 of 10 on third down. State had 430 yards total offense. Michigan had 440. Defense, Blue only gave up 7 points in garbage time. I'll give them that. But they also had 7 sacks and 11 tackles for loss, just like Michigan State. It was I just thought that was bizarre.
Yeah.
But then you get the Michigan fan base, and the Michigan State fan base. I mean, they're both
this is why
equally idiotic.
I love our fan base. I love them all. I love them, but you can't engage. Sometimes especially when the game's going on or just after the game,
I know. I told you.
You can never engage with them because good or bad, it's never a good thing. There are always the dramatic ones that come out right away after.
Well, you told me during our game that they were coming unglued. The Blue fan base was coming unglued because they thought we were going to lose to Western or struggling.
Well, they were watching that with the full bottle of lube going, oh, come on, Western, come on.
Biggest Western fans ever.
They were that's what they did. To be honest, we did the same thing. We were hoping Colorado State would do it, but that's just not going to happen. But,
I was realistic, though.
It is what it is.
I want to see him lose every game. I'm not going to lie, but I don't think that's going to happen. But after what seemed like the longest offseason ever with both fan bases, each trying to invalidate the other team's 2001 campaigns when they both had really good years, it's just... I mean, as State fans, we know Michigan's schedule's weak sauce. We know they're going to pound these teams for the first 6-7 weeks. It's really no surprise, like I said earlier, that they throttled Colorado State. It was expected.
Yeah,
I mean,
they're going to
then you go on Twitter afterwards, and Michigan State fans are saying, "Oh, Western would just kick the shit out of Colorado State." So why do we play that game?
Properties. I have no idea. I don't get it. It's what fans do, and it doesn't matter. Like I said, during the Michigan game, I jumped on and I was like, I just wanted to see what the thoughts were about Cade, and literally they already had him in the transfer portal.
On the bus out of town.
Yeah, they already had him in the transfer portal. JJ's the guy, even though he's only thrown like 5 passes.
It's like neither fan base, though, can accept that they're both pretty good. They're both going to be pretty good teams. I think Michigan's going to win the Big Ten again, but we'll get into that later. Did you just fall over? I do.
Yeah, no. There's a team
I
that's
know.
on a real revenge tour.
Oh, here we go. But no, I mean, not much more to say about Michigan, Colorado State. Nope. Went the way it was supposed to go.
No, and like I said, I guarantee this week they're going to let JJ fling it around the yard, and then that'll be it. It'll be said, and Cade will be in the transfer portal before the Maryland game.
But let's get into it.
And then I hope it implodes. I hope it implodes so badly. I just so badly. Cade did Cade fucking did everything that fan base has ever since 2005. This guy goes out and gives them everything they've ever fucking wanted. And first sign of anything, they want to throw the guy in the fucking trash. Oh, and the best part is when he goes and does that post interview where they're like, he seems so entitled. Oh my God, because he knows JJ's better. Like, I'm just listening and reading these tweets and I'm just like, are you people fucking nuts? Like, seriously, guy won you a Big Ten title. He beat Ohio State. Oh no, it wasn't him. It was the great team around him. It was the running game. Well, he didn't make any fucking mistakes because last time I checked, the game you lost to Michigan State was because of JJ, not because of Cade. Cade didn't fumble the ball.
Even Lee Corso pointed
Cade
that out.
Didn't trip over his own fucking feet. No, but hey, JJ's got upside. Maybe Michigan State should go biblical. What does Hauser have? Come on, let's go biblical on it.
They brought Noah Kim in to throw a 45-yard.
That was the best. That was the best. I swear to God, if he audibled that, I have a huge boner for that guy right now. Because if he went out there and they were like, just hand the ball off, and he got in the huddle and was like,
I like my matchup on the outside.
He was like, no, guys, I'm chucking this motherfucker down the field. And he took that snap and he chucked that sucker down there. I pray. Even if it's not true, I want to believe that that's what happened. I want to believe he ran out there, got in the huddle, and said, fuck it, boys. We're chucking this bad boy down. Let's put the women and children to bed and go looking for fucking dinner. That's what I hope he said. And then he chucked that ball 40 yards down the field. Because otherwise, it's just disappointing. I mean, I love the fact it was the play call by the coordinator or whatever, but I hope he went in there and they were like, he's like, I don't like what I see. I'm audibling, and he fucking chucked that sucker because that was awesome. Awesome. I'm so excited over that. That was the greatest thing. All right. That was good. From ranting about how they treat Cade to that was amazing.
To Noah Kim going
Noah Kim saying, fuck it.
Taking a deep shot.
Yep, just going for it. Going for broke. That was awesome.
Was our offensive game plan, though, to throw it deep to everybody, anybody and everybody,
True.
any tight end.
But I wasn't expecting the guy to come off the bench cold and just fucking...
Yeah,
that was great. The most amazing thing ever would be the story to come out that he fucking audibled into that. All right, boys. That's great. All right, I don't know much about Michigan left. I just we'll see. The schedule's got to play out. They're going to do what they did this week again next week, and
we did it last year. I thought we were going to do it again this year, but we didn't get around to this episode until after the season had already started. But we picked what we thought each team would do for what their record would be at the start of the year versus what it would be at the end of the year, I guess. But like I said earlier, I got Michigan running the table and going back to the Big Ten title game. I know you don't, but
no, I do not. The Ohio State Buckeyes are winning the Big Ten, and
I understand. Well,
injuries and all that still play into it. I'm talking if everybody stays healthy and does what they're supposed to, then I think Ohio State just mollywops the entire Big Ten. I just think
Michigan's schedule just is set up for them.
Yeah, but they're eventually going to have to play actual teams with a pulse. You can't they're not going to play Colorado State for the next 12 weeks. Michigan, they're going to have to play.
Who they play with a pulse though?
Well, they still got to. They still got to play Iowa's defense, and I don't care. That game. Whoa.
We'll get to that in a minute. We'll get to around the Big Ten.
As a fan of kicking and punting, I still had a hard time watching that fucking game. That was bad. It wasn't bad like they were playing Alabama and it was this struggle fest like LSU Alabama did years back. No, this was
Focus.
This was the Jackrabbits.
Focus.
Focus. All right, go Michigan. Whatever
Michigan
you got to
only
say
has
about
four
Michigan.
road games. Iowa, who they mollywopped in the Big Ten championship last year.
That's what I'm saying though.
Indiana.
But their defense, they're not. It's not like they're going to be going up against Colorado State's defense. The Iowa defense is good. Like Michigan won't just be able to go out there and do what they want.
Petrus had a 1.1 QBR.
So bad. Michigan will win. Michigan's going to win. Like they're going to go to Iowa and win. I mean, even though going to Iowa is never fun, but they're going to go there and win.
They're going to blow them the fuck out.
But maybe late, but I don't know if it's just going to be this get in there.
They're going to blow them the fuck out.
Because I don't think they'll be able to run on them, and they're going to have to throw it. And at that point, the Messiah might be the quarterback, and I don't know. Everybody, he's going through this great upside in this arm, yet he's only thrown like 5 passes. So I don't know. I'm gonna wait until that game before I start to even judge Michigan.
They've got 4 road games for the whole year: Iowa, Indiana, Rutgers, and OSU. OSU, they look markedly better against Notre Dame.
Yeah. I mean,
most people disagree, but the things I saw was that when they had to, they could run the ball. Smith-Njigba being out hurt the passing game. Obviously, when the best receivers in the country's hurt, that's going to hurt you. But their defense is showing up and showing out again. So, I just think Michigan, they're going to be able to run the ball against anybody and everybody. Even Ohio State. They're going to have all these weeks for that defense to mature, which it needs. I see only 2 real tests for them, MSU and OSU. Penn State didn't scare me with their performance against Purdue. And I think both games with Michigan State and Ohio State are going to be shootouts.
Yeah, I'm looking at the schedule right now. You're right. There is not a lot of good on this schedule.
For Michigan,
Illinois, Nebraska, Rutgers. If they don't stumble at Iowa, if Iowa doesn't have like if they don't come up with some kind of offensive game plan, then Indiana, Penn State, it's going to come down to those 2 games.
Michigan and they're making it a priority this year. They're taking the Michigan State game seriously this year. They're going to.
I just don't see. They're not going into the shoe and winning. They're not. I don't care. They're not going to do it. Ohio State's going to lay the pipe.
I hope you're right. I hope I'm wrong.
That schedule.
See Michigan.
This schedule. Oh my
extremely
God.
talented.
Imagine if I had season tickets.
They're going to be loaded with. They're going to be loaded with confidence going into that game against the shoe if they're 11-0, or in the shoe, whatever. Talking's hard.
Yeah. No, you're right. That schedule is god awful. I thought they had whiskey, but I guess they don't.
Oh, that's us.
Yeah, that's us. I thought maybe they did too. So, well, whatever.
Get into the meat and potatoes of our schedule now. I don't see us doing a whole lot better than 8-4.
Well, yeah, it's not the.
It's not a good schedule for us. I got us dropping to losing to OSU.
For sure.
Possibly Maryland. We're going to lose to somebody we shouldn't this year.
Oh, I think
because we beat teams. We won those games that we shouldn't have won last year.
I have a feeling we're going to go out to Washington and lose. So
I don't know about that. We'll see.
We'll see. Is it Michael Penix playing there? So.
Yeah, I mean they lit up whoever they beat the piss out of somebody, but
Penn State.
Yeah, that's who it was. Like I said, what I want to see from our team this year is just not have that game where we just get our doors blown off of us.
Jesus Christ. Oh, my. Yeah, Michael Penix looks like he's feeling good. 26 or 39 for 345 and 4 touchdowns. Jeez. Going out there is not going to be easy. We better figure out some shit.
The pass rush needs to travel. That's all I have to say.
Yeah, but so does
the pass rush travels.
But Michael Penix can move.
Can he though? He used to be able to.
Yeah. But I don't know.
He had massive knee injury, so I don't know if he's the same, if he's just sitting back there and chucking it, or if he's actually taking off and running with the ball. But
he had 4 rushes for 27 yards. But he's probably still just a little elusive. I don't know. I worry about going out that way, but we'll get to it.
I do too. Don't get me wrong. I don't think any of our games are easy this year by any stretch. That's why, like we were talking earlier, if we're going to see Caden Hauser, it's going to be this week.
That's why I'm hoping that they get up big and we can see the other guys.
Yeah.
But, there's a lot of football to play. We didn't learn a lot this week.
No, we really didn't.
Honestly, there wasn't a lot. There was definitely nothing to learn from the Michigan game, other than we found out that Kate is pretty upset about about everything being biblical.
Yeah.
And our side, I think that Thorne was I think there was just a lot going on, like Dad and Western playing up to an in-state rival. I think that had a lot to do with what the performance that Michigan State had, and then the injuries. So we'll see. Akron, I expect it to be completely different, and Michigan, I expect them to do exactly what they do to inferior opponents. All right, college football
Lions?
overall. Now we'll do Lions after this. We'll do some college football.
Okay.
Our thoughts on the awesome, amazing, delightfully enjoyable opening week. That starting off with that Pitt West Virginia game.
Oh, what a game.
That was outstanding. And West Virginia, that Zero, I don't remember his name now. What was his name? The hyphenated name. Anyways, that wide receiver,
Smith something.
He's awesome. And that West Virginia team
Keaton.
will have something to say when it comes to the Big 12. They're not going to win it, but they could ruin someone's season. So, but yeah, that opening with that game was amazing, and then immediately flipping the channel and getting the end of Purdue and Penn State, which was
Purdue-Penn State was a hell of an ending.
Braum
Purdue,
trying not to win.
Wow. Refused to even try to run the ball to close out Penn State.
You need to waste time. Nope, just throw it.
They had I looked at the play-by-play. They had the ball twice under 4 minutes to go to close the game out.
And Braum looked at the other sideline and said, I'm going to act like you, Franklin, and I'm going to throw this game away.
13 times to one rushing attempt in those 2 drives. 13 times. They tried to throw it 13 times. There were a couple of penalties, so those plays didn't count.
Coaching, I swear to God, coaches do
it's so bad.
It goes right into the end of the weekend with Florida State and LSU. Why are you pitching the ball? Like, honestly, taking a knee in that situation is better than pitching the ball. You pitch the ball, you have a million things can go wrong. If you just take a knee and then kick the field goal, the game's over. No, you pitch the ball, you fumble, then you immediately let LSU go 99 fucking yards down the field and score, and then you get lucky that you got, well, I guess it's not luck. They coached up that.
They blocked.
Special teams is a big thing, and they blocked the kicks. So, but still, how do you even put yourself in that situation?
Go back to the Iowa. Who the hell they play? South Dakota State.
North Dakota State. Blue, go Jacks.
Set football back, offensive football back about 50 years. Win it 7-3 with 2 safeties and a field goal.
There was no offense in that game. There was 0 offense in that game.
Spencer Petras, 1.1 QBR on the day.
I don't know how you don't make a switch and try, like, did they not have another quarterback on the roster? How do you just sit there and continually try the same shit that's not working?
Maybe he's the anti-Harbaugh. I don't know. Maybe Ferentz is the anti-Harbaugh. He's loyal to the guy that got him to the Big Ten championship game.
It was bad. It was so, honestly, maybe he's just worried the next guy was going to come in and make a mistake.
Probably.
That could cost them the game, and they didn't want to risk it, so he was like, fuck it, we're just going to punt and play field position, which they did, and they did it great. They played that field position into safeties, which won the game, so I guess he coached it right, I guess, but it was just offensively, it was
and then you got
pain.
Florida beating Utah.
That was a great game.
Basically basically eliminating the Pac-12 from playoff contention already.
USC might have something to say about that. We'll see as the season plays out.
I'm just parroting what everybody on the four-letter network is saying.
We'll see how the season plays out, but I think USC is really the only one that's left that has a chance to now run the table.
Well, they were probably the only one that had a chance.
No way even if Oregon runs the table,
Georgia.
They're done because Georgia showed what.
Oh, mercy, Georgia.
Ouch.
That's big. That was big boy football.
Ouch.
That was big. That was big boy football. Stetson Bennett. Wow.
That was. Yeah.
For a little fella, he can play. He makes plays.
It was painful to watch. I was like.
It was fun to watch. What are you talking about?
It was fun till the 5-minute mark of the first quarter, and I was like, "Oh, great! This game's fucking over. What am I gonna do now?"
Kind of. Like the Michigan playoff game.
I said to you earlier in the day, I was like, oh, I can't wait because the early game, Michigan, that was done. And then I was like, well, great, the later games are better. Better for what? All of 30 seconds before Georgia was up 21-0.
Honestly, the surprise of the weekend was how well Notre Dame played Ohio State. I expected Notre Dame to just get slammed.
I thought the same. I think Notre Dame came out with a great game plan. They played it really well. Ohio State adjusted and won that game, which I think going forward, Ohio State now knows
which they wouldn't have done last year. They would have lost that game last year.
Yeah. I think they know now that they can just pound the rock. I think Ohio State knows they can
play
bully people, beat you up, and send you packing. And I think they started the game trying to throw it and do all that, and then they realized, no, we're just going to have to shove it down Notre Dame's throat. And by the end of that fourth quarter, Notre Dame looked gassed. It looked like they were like, all right, we just got to get out of here because these guys are just running this over. But yeah, it was a fantastic opening weekend of college football. I think, again, the SEC is the dominant. I think Ohio State's probably the only team that has a chance to hang outside of the SEC. I think Georgia, Bama, we're probably in line heading back to that again. Ohio State is the only one I think that can throw a wrench into that if they can stay consistent, not have any injuries.
See what Clemson looks like in the ACC too this year. See if they bounce back after a bad
quarterback play.
2021, yeah. See if Ukulele can be any better than he was last year.
Well, he's got to live up to those stars. But I don't know. Again, we're not learning a lot tonight because I think tonight's going to be like the Georgia-Oregon game. I think Clemson just thrashes Georgia Tech. But I'm going to watch because it's football.
Yes, we are. Hopefully week 1 of the NFL season is just as compelling as week 1 of the college season.
Well, we've got a banger for opening night.
For Thursday night,
That is juicy. That could be the Super Bowl matchup, to be honest.
Matty Stafford cleared for...
Everything's good to go.
Cleared to throw it 50 times a game if he has to.
Ready to go. Yeah, what a juicy, juicy game to open up the season. This gives me a massive Ron boner.
Yes, sir. Get into our hometown Lions here for a minute. We didn't really talk about last week's Hard Knocks. Ben Johnson actually being a real person.
Yeah, he showed up. He's alive. He's actually alive. He's a guy.
I kind of wish we would have seen more of him throughout the show. He was actually compelling and interesting.
Yeah, I don't know why that was. They waited.
Jared Goff, not so much.
No, but we knew about. They've already.
As predicted, he was boring as hell.
He's got his T-shirt.
Other than the smoking hot fiance.
Yeah, but they already did that. He's already been on Hard Knocks, and they went to his house and did all that stuff during the first time when the Rams were on it. So he's already had his whole episode of Jared Goff's life. I mean, it's different now with the Lions, so they kind of showed him working with the community and shit. But when the Rams had Hard Knocks, they already did a whole Jared Goff. This is him. Welcome to Jared Goff. So
was he just as boring then too?
He's had a cool house.
So does Cliff Kingsbury, but he can't coach.
He can't coach past October.
Yeah.
But
past when Halo comes out or whatever it is.
Call of Duty.
Call of
That's when
Duty.
Kyler
Call of
stops
Duty.
playing
Which one?
football.
Yeah.
Kyler gets busy then with his FaZe clan. But yeah,
No, MCDC in the cut process was kind of interesting to watch. You could tell he really hates that part of the job.
well, we get to see it this week. Tomorrow night we'll get to see the actual cuts, like where they call the guys into the room and they got to tell them.
Oh, they do that?
Oh, yeah, that episode's this week. We get that episode tomorrow. So tomorrow we'll
Okay.
get the episode where he's actually going to go, man,
So I'll see
I
it.
really dig it, man. You were so good, man.
You
Just keep doing
Man,
what
we
you're
really
doing,
wanna keep you on
man,
the-
and you'll find yourself
really
a
wanna keep-
spot.
really want to keep you on the practice squad, man.
You know, you work so hard, man. I got a spot for you, man. You know, man, you'll find a spot. Just keep working. Just get back to
But now that we-
the basics and work, man. You'll get there, man. Cut.
Now that we know the cuts. I mean,
Yeah.
as expected. It went as expected. I mean, Pimpleton.
Blau will be,
Dropped
if
too
they
many-
go to that, they show the
dropped
Blau
too
one
many-
will be interesting because it was the day after.
That
so
will be
it's
funny,
like, oh,
'cause
you're
that will be
staying on the
funny,
team.
'cause
Oh, no, you're not.
You made the team. No, you got
Nope,
cut.
next day. No, you're gone. See ya. That'll be
Here
interesting.
today,
They'll probably.
Frank, Tim, Bob, Jim Boyle, whatever his name is,
He-
signed to the practice
He
squad
knew
today.
he was cut when they pulled his ass in the first half of that final game.
They signed him. They re-signed him. Practice squad guy.
Oh, really? I didn't
Today.
even notice. There you go. That's what.
Yeah.
Well, I was setting up this massive, amazing YouTube channel today. So
That's
my
true.
prep work was about zero, and my following of anything
keep-
sports was zero today. Other than
I
20
keep forgetting
sports.
we're even on that. So
What's that?
I said I keep forgetting we're even on that thing. So because I can't see it. So
Well, don't worry. I can. It's inglorious.
glorious HD. Anything? You got anything else?
Well, outside of
What if we blow
just
Vader?
being excited for this weekend, NFL games plus now we got a full slate of college, full slate of NFL. It's just football glory. Just amazing first weekend. No, we didn't learn a lot.
Man,
I mean, there's not a lot that we
Next
learned.
weekend, I'll watch next weekend be a popcorn fart.
Oh yeah, it's always that's what happens though, right?
It's always that
a
way. There's
great
no big
weekend,
games. We're
Following
like, what's the big game this week? There isn't one.
Now we got Texas and Alabama.
Oh, that's gonna be a
Yeah.
bludgeoning.
We say that, but who knows? Maybe they're back. No, no. I'm gonna go with
No.
You're not.
Hey, Quinn Ewers, meet Will Anderson.
Yeah, I think that.
Get to know him. You're gonna get to know him pretty well here.
Yeah, it'll be. Other than that, what else? I'm quickly looking quick before we sign off here. Anything decent outside of that? Pittsburgh and Tennessee. That's not bad.
Full pro or
No, for
NFL or college?
That's pretty much. There's not a lot to.
No, there's nothing to get excited about.
It's like they did it on purpose. They're like, well, the NFL comes back that weekend. We'll throw all the worst games on week 2.
Yeah, on to Philly for Detroit.
Yeah, so that's it. I don't know. So I guess
The first of 17 1 o'clock starts.
till we get to Thanksgiving. That's
Okay.
12:30.
And then it's 12:30.
12:30.
Yeah. It's even fucking earlier.
They want to get it out of the way. Let's
Just-
get the Lions off the TV before we sit down to eat. Give everybody upset
Don't want
stomachs.
to make anybody sick.
Everybody's already sick. So
Being around their family, everybody's already sick.
yeah. All right. I don't have much else.
Just kidding. Love my family.
Actually, I didn't have fuck all to begin with because, again, I spent half of the majority of my day setting all of this YouTube wonderfulness
Well,
up.
See if anybody watches it.
All
Probably not. But
3 people. Let's see
probably
if our
be
70-something
you.
regular weekly listeners transfer to YouTube.
you, me, and my daughters will watch it. That's probably going to be about it.
Yeah. My 6-year-old might click on it like 6 times because she'll see Daddy and go, oh, click,
Daddy,
oh, click. So we'll get a bunch of clicks that way, but otherwise, whatever.
who's the old ugly guy that you're talking to, Daddy?
That's the guy. I met him in Toledo.
That's Uncle Gary.
Toledo. All right, man.
Toledo.
Toledo.
Not bad.
Not a bad YouTube intro to YouTube.
Virgin Voyage.
I don't know. I got this football in my head. I've been flicking it around the whole time because I can't stand.
What did you get? Did you get to stand? You didn't get to stand
No,
up.
because the camera's all. If I stand up, all you'll see.
So I see it. I can't see it, dude.
Like I can't stand. My head disappears. Well, it might be a better thing. I don't know. All right, we're out.
Nobody wants to see your crotch, bro.
All right, we
All right,
are
man.
done.
All right, man.
All right,
man.
Package it up. It's already on the internet, so I guess we're not sending it there.
You already put the hash browns on it,
Put
so
the hash browns,
we're good to go.
and we are